So Pulsechain has higher throughput, better security, lower environmental impact to the point of nearly none, is a newer coin with more features, is faster than Bitcoin. But Bitcoin has an $800 billion market cap. Pulsechain doesn't. Why? Well, we're new. We're on the way, right? Things will get better, in my opinion. So, like, oh, and for you listening, is that a forward-looking price statement? Nope, not a forward-looking price statement, not financial advice. So we've got a wonderful network. We've got wonderful features. We've got wonderful airdrop. There's, you can do lending on the Pulsechain network. There's projects that let you borrow coins. There's projects that there's stable coins on Pulsechain. There's all types of stuff people have launched on Pulsechain. Guys, the network is good. Works great. Oh, and the bridge is free too. Somebody set the bridge to 0 fee so that using the bridge has no fee, both directions. So if you go to bridge.pulsechain.com, there's no fees currently. In, out, either way, no fees. Now you're going to pay a fee on the Ethereum network. Nothing you can do about that. That's Ethereum's side, right? So you got a great network and you got a ton of free coins. And it's been worked flawlessly for 7 months. Go make it great, guys. Launch stuff on it, use it, build fiat on-ramps, make a money transmitter in your state, make a licensed money transmitter in your state, and you can, make the community better. Like,
Hey everybody, and welcome back. Sorry, a few little emergencies there in the background, but we're live now. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, obviously, that's Richard's Christmas opening for this year, and of course, it was pretty optimistic as well, saying things are just getting started, getting moving on for this year. Now, we've got we had some pretty interesting posts yesterday, or at least over the last 24 hours from Richard. So we can talk about that around pDai and Wrap Bitcoin and what the market happened to the markets after that. So definitely having some ripples every time Richard posts certain things. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about that. We've also got whale dumpers, of course, in the play, affecting the markets on Pulsechain. And, of course, weekends. Have you got diamond hands or weekends? And, of course, the opportunity to buy. So we're going to talk about that as well. Obviously, much bigger volumes at the current prices. Every time it goes lower, much bigger volumes. Now, obviously, we had a lot of that stuff happen all after our live stream yesterday, where we had certain support levels, and it's sort of some of those are being pushed further down. So that's what happens when you have special events, I would argue, with people like Richard Hart, of course, the founder, posting out some interesting posts, and, of course, the reaction from certain players on Pulsechain. So let's get into it, folks. We've got lots to talk about. Let's see who's in the chat there. We've got Sandy Beach in there. Day 12 complete. No post today from Sandy, but a big welcome to Sandy. Heidi hi, Heidi ho. We've got Brian in the house as well. So Brian, our community leader. Good to see Brian in the house. Welcome. Let's get straight into it, folks. Let's get into the stock market for Friday. Friday's results. And, of course, the Friday results was hit pretty hard. We had the stock market was down. We've just had the opening of earnings season. And, of course, the Dow there has slumped on inflation jitters and disappointing bank earnings. So you got two negative events there. And, of course, so we've just opened up earnings season. The Dow Jones is down 1.25% there, 475 points. Pretty big down day there for the stock market, 37,983. Remember, the stock market's up at record high levels. So any percentage decreases are quite severe on the points. We got the S&P 500 down 1.75 points, or 1.5 points there, and that's 75 points there at 5,123, so down 1.5%. Nasdaq there down 1.6% at 267 points, down to 16,175 with all the tech companies in there. So a big down day, big risk off day for the markets. Volatility index up a whopping 16%, 2.4 points to 17.3. And the dollar there is actually up almost 0.7%, just over 0.7% there, up to 105.82. So the dollar stronger versus its trading partner there, risk off, as we say. Commodities at the moment, West Texas is up 0.5% at 43 cents to $85. And Brent oil there is up 0.5% as well, 41 cents to $90 there. Gold has eased off a bit, down 0.5%, down $12 to $2,360, and silver down 1% at 27 cents there, just under $28 at the moment, which is a pretty good position actually. So yeah, we had disappointing earnings on banks, but of course we had a bit more around the inflation jitters. The Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index fell to 77.9 in April from 79.4 a month earlier, and missing forecast of 79. And the data also showed that a 1-year inflation expectations and 5-year expectations rose to 3.1 and 4% respectively, piling on worries about higher for longer interest rates. About 27% of the Fed expects to cut rates in June, well below the 51% seen a week prior. So, expectations about early cut, we've covered that a couple of times. So let's have a quick look at the actual tools at the moment on that and see the Fed rate monitor and see what the market is saying about interest rate cuts. So we're going to jump past May, of course, because we're expecting no change in May. June, 71.7% says no change as well in June. So it really does look like the market is pushing us into July or even September. But let's say July at this stage. We got the majority of the market still pivoting in July. So that's about 56.5% is expecting us to pivot. But that's not strong at this stage. We'll see how we get on there. We've had one good inflation number indices, and we've had 2 negative ones, but we've still got more data to come before these timeframes. So we'll see how we get on. All right, that is that. I've got a freaking out cat here for some reason. So let's get into the crypto markets. Let's see who else has jumped in the chat. Force of One is in the house there. Hey, everybody. Hey, good to see a Force of One. Welcome to the chat there. Now, look at this. Red, red, red. Boy, the stock market's red and the crypto market's red. Bitcoin there down 3.64% at $67,673. So broke well below the 70,000 mark that we were comfortably sitting over yesterday. Where the Bitcoin dominance, though, has gone up dramatically. So we've gone up from about 51.7, say, to 52.9 on the Bitcoin dominance from our memory. So there we go. Ethereum, though, down even further, $3,257. Down 7.27%. So Ethereum down there, and everything else is pretty red, isn't it? For the most part. Wow, everything is red, red, red. What else? I'm just looking through some of these. Optimism and Arbitrum are down even more than Ethereum. 2-second layers down 60% on Optimism. And what's Arbitrum? Down 17%. Woo! So those second layers of Ethereum down even more. But you can see everything is pretty much down. So that is pretty much it. So let's zoom in on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still up in a nice sort of range, though, even with this down day that we've just had. And so, yeah, man, the cat's freaking out for some reason. I have no idea what's going on. Doing some crazy stuff. We've got 65,000 of the low and 71,265 of the high. What a huge range. $6,150 range yesterday. That's pretty big. And today we have got the rank. We're basically near the bottom of it, or top of the bottom half there, and we're currently at 67,000 at the moment. Remember, the 50-day moving average here is sitting at what's that sitting at there? About, I can't see because of the line there. 40, just under 64,000, just under 65,000 is where the 50-day yellow line moving average is. We're above that, of course, by $2,000. And of course, the 200 moving average is down at 49,687. We're almost over $50,000 on the moving average. Isn't that cool? That's kind of neat there. And of course, you guys know we're getting closer and closer and closer to Bitcoin halving. We are currently a week away. Woo-hoo-hoo! A week away from the Bitcoin halving. This is pretty much exact. So we're waiting for blocks 840,000, and we are ticking down towards that. So only a week to go for the Bitcoin halving. We're going to have some fun ride getting there, aren't we? Fun ride getting to the Bitcoin halving and a fun ride on the other side. It seems like a mega huge event, but there we go. And remember, the amount of blocks per day is going down from 900 to 450 to the Bitcoin miners. So that's where we are at the moment. All right, let's jump over to Ethereum. Ethereum as well broken through the 50-day moving average. Woo! 3,363 is the 50-day. 2,700 is the 200-day. And we have yesterday we had a huge range as well, a high of 3,553, but a low of 3,100. So a $453 range yesterday. Big ranges yesterday, and we're currently in the bottom half of that at 3,230 at the moment. And we've busted down that 50 moving average, most importantly. But hey, look, we've still got this huge giant event the Bitcoin halving coming up in a week. So we'll see how we get on with that. And you guys know we've got the Ethereum ETF approvals 23rd, but we're unlikely to get approved at this stage unless something dramatic happens. We're at 25% probability or less. And of course, the interest rate pivot is definitely moving into July now rather than June. So that's a bit further out at the moment. So that's pretty much the markets. That's going to lead us into Richard Hart, of course. Before we do that, though, let's see who else has jumped in the chat. We've got John Neese. What's up, everybody? Good to see you, John. John says, I recently watched an RH Max stream from about 10 days ago. He had access to live on. A lot of the pDai speculation went over my head. Where can I get more info on pDai to stable narrative? Okay, you're probably wanting to check out one of the two big influencers in the space is Hodlnomics. You probably want to check him out. And another guy's called pDai something. I just forgot his name. Probably those are kind of the two people online. If you get into Discord, we can post you that information if you want to follow those guys. There is a bit of a battle on that argument, the old maker theory, as I call it. But those kind of the two leading proponents on the X social platform in its favor and doing all the research around it. What else? We've got John Neese. Anybody else believe in this theory? Says John Neese. Well, you know, some people are against it. I won't name names, but you can go out on X social platform and see them. They're pretty obvious. So yeah, there is a bit of a battle on that theory, and you can you'll see it pretty quickly when you see replies and things like that. Anyway, it's been pretty fun. Hey, I always like to look at it this way. The chart kind of tells you what is actually happening, right? So the chart's moving up, then something's going right to the upside, right? So pDai to $1 is that theory is definitely on the play. So we'll see how we go though. We're trying to get to that 1 cent and it's almost done it. So we're going to check that out later on the live stream. So hold on to your hat for that one. Your king's hat like Richard's. See Richard's king hat there? Look at that. See? Oh, you can't quite see it because it's not fully shown. But there we go. All right, let's get into Richard Hart's post again. Once again, last time it was last time it was eHex. Caused a lot of fallout, but Richard's been posting on a number of things, of course. I'm not going to go through all those. I just wanted to focus on these two posts around Bitcoin, wrap Bitcoin. So this was the first one, and how many hours ago was this? Just to give us some context. 16 hours ago. Bitcoin did notice this free $40 million market cap coin free to address with wrap Bitcoin on Ethereum. Now, as you saw in that intro video, Richard always talks about the free coins and things like that you get, whether it's from Sacrifice or from just the copied over fork. So there we go. Free 40 million market cap, free coin free to address this with wrap Bitcoin on Ethereum. Surely you heard about all the free coins on Pulsechain, right? And of course, showing up the wrap Bitcoin chart there. At the time, it was $260 when he was posting. Already, it was moving up. You can see in the chart there. What was the other one there we had? Yeah, one wrap Bitcoin, $260 equaled a 3 million pulse at the time of his posting 16 hours ago. So that caused a lot of fuss, and you can see had 60,000 views on that. Let's see what the responses were to that. Actually, see who came in there. Yeah, coin. We've got a lot of the information platforms, GoPulse, Pulse Coin List, and Pulsechain. So yeah, got lots of responses there. And then of course he came out following quickly after that with the other one around pDai, and of course that caused a whole ton of stir there out there. Who, if you're in the pDai camp, the Maker Theory camp, or if you're in the no Richard Hart coins are the only ones that matter camp. So let's have a look there. We got Ethereum. You might have this free coin up 500,000%. Did you check? Yes, 137 million market cap coin for free with 1.2 million liquidity. Surely you know about all the free coins on Pulsechain, right? So this is a key word here, the word all, right? So they're still pushing the free coins. Obviously, if you did Sacrifice or if you had fork copies over on the 10th of May last year, then you would have participated in this, and you may have coins if you're new to Pulsechain over in here like that. So obviously it attracts the big whales, any big whales holding positions as well, and that can potentially have a dump fest, or maybe it garners engagement on Pulsechain. That's kind of the play there. So yeah, say thank you, show respect there. So say thank you and show respect. So there we go. That was on that. We've had 135,000 views on that one. So wrap Bitcoin got 60,000 views, but pDai got 135,000 views. We got some market participants like Pulse Market responding, GoPulse again, quite a few others in here. Pulse Pulse Coin List, which is a great site. Check all those out. Many others in here. R8 Tweets, pDai chart. Big man talking. So you had lots of big positive people in there as well. Let's move out of that. So those are the two big posts yesterday, 16 hours ago, caused a big stir on the market. And of course, a lot of people started buying up pDai and Wrap Bitcoin. We're going to check out those charts in a minute. Now, some of the fallout, the flows in and flows out of Pulsechain on Pulse alerts were pretty interesting. 22 hours ago, before his post, we had 379,000 bridge to Ethereum already, so that was already going out. Then we had 17 hours ago, about an hour before his post, we had $199,000 bridging into Pulsechain. We had obviously had some trading 13 hours ago, this is after his post, 42 billion PulseX sold for 1.2 million DAI, and of course that would have been moved off the chain possibly. And we got PulseX moved down, obviously in price dramatically, 31% in 47 hours. Pretty big move down on the Pulsechain assets at that time. A lot of whales started dumping. That's why I've got whale dumpers in the title there. Incentive has moved down 33%, and of course Pulse also moved down 9%. That was all 13 hours ago. So you had quite a bit of dramatic move in the prices after Richard's post there as well. And of course, you had Bitcoin and Ethereum obviously pulling back as well today. 65,000 ink sold for 235,000 USDC. So a lot of sell down there on the Richard Hart gold and cryptos. 12 hours ago, 3 million DAI bridged to Ethereum. So a big exit of liquidity there. I'm not sure if there's any comments on those ones there, but that is some of the money that happened there. The big whale fest. What else have we got going in there? I'm just having a look through some of these. Let's go scroll up here. Hex Turbo says, focus on the positive. Pulsechain is in the 5th position out of all chains on Dex Screener, although another weekend whale has left the building. So there we go. That's positive from Hex Turbo. And then, 8 hours ago, we had almost 60 ETH bridged to Ethereum. Then we had 5 billion PulseX sold for $146,000 of DAI. What else have we had since then? 3 hours ago, 200,000 bridged to Ethereum. And then the last 3 hours, we had 200,000 bridged to Pulsechain, funnily enough. So those are kind of the big wow flows over the last 24 hours. And a lot of those after, there was a couple before Richard's post and, quite a few big ones, including that big 3 million afterwards. So that has impacted the bridge. And we're going to look at the bridge numbers in total. So that is kind of the play there. Let's get into the results for day Pulsechain. For day, day 336. So we've got the prices at quadruple 0799, down 5.8% on Pulse. This is now 20% below mean sacrifice price. 20%. Wow. And of course, that means a big opportunity to pick up mad volumes of Pulsechain at the moment. So that's kind of cool. Whenever there's a sell down event, you've got, by big whales, you've got a big buying event, a big buying opportunity, and of course, a big buy signal for you there as well. PulseX quadruple 0306 down 5.76% at the moment. That is at a whopping 70-point discount. I mean, you're at 30% of the Pulse mean sacrifice price at the moment, so you're getting in some big upside material positions there. The current buy and burn, congratulations everybody, is 800 million. We hit the number. So if you're an influencer out there, if you haven't already done it already, post that out. That's 800 billion has now been burned. So almost 801, and that's 3.93% of all the public supply. So that's just ticking away in behind the scenes, and that's gone for good. Now, incentive token at the moment down 3.22%, $3.97, just below 50,000 on the Pulse ratio. So still holding up really well, I think, the incentive token, 49,077. I think that's holding up pretty stubbornly there on the old incentive token. And of course, the supply numbers are pretty limited, 28.9 million incentive tokens. And of course, we are expecting at the turn of the first year, we're in the final month of that year, that we get a emission reduction. We'll be looking out for that in the farms. And of course, PHEX there at 777. That's got to be good luck. 777 down 8% at the moment, and EHEX there at 1600th of a penny. And the combined price of EHEX and PHEX is just below 1 cent there. 9400th of a penny is the combined price there. So that's day 336. We are in the 12th month of the year there, of course, heading towards 365 days. So May is going to be a fun time. That will also be a year of weekends, getting rid of weekends. We don't always know Richard likes to get rid of the weekends, and so that would be 1 year in May. Of course, that would be after the halving as well. I think it's about 3 weeks, I think it is, somewhere in that ballpark after the halving on the 20th of April. So let's see what happens in May for the Magic Carpet Ride, perhaps. Woo! And of course, these current opportunity to pick up mad gains. Beautiful signal there. All right, let's jump over to the charts quickly. We're going to go to the weekly. Am I on the weekly? No, monthly here. So let's go to the weekly. Just have a quick. We're going to start off a bit longer here, just to get the weekly one here. You can see that we had some natural support at 8,000, right? 8,000 was the support line for Pulse, but because we had big whale sell there, I mean, that's sort of like a black swan event there. Not quite a black swan, but a whale event, let's say, that actually spiked all the way down to a low of 65.6061 there. So that's for Pulse. So it was a lot more dramatic. And of course, we got into the top of the previous resistance zone here. So we didn't manage to hold the support zone, and we got into the resistance zone instead and pierced that, but back up to the support zone, interestingly enough. So that we're back at that 8,000 mark again. So that's kind of a strong move at this stage. We'll obviously look to see how that plays out in the weeks ahead. Now, obviously, with the Bitcoin halving, hopefully that's going to be a positive turn because sometimes we can come back down to the 6,500. But I'm a bit more bullish on that. And if we can hold some support around this level, 8,000, I think we're looking pretty good. Now, the RSI on the weekly is at 40, so it is on the downside, but not completely oversold. Let's go to the daily chart, and you can see that spike there. Man, what a range there at the moment, but we have got oversold territory on the RSI. So, fingers crossed we can, that will be the spike, and we can build back better from there. Pulsechain at the moment, similar story, of course. We broke some of these support lines. 2,800 was the support line to 3,000, and of course we broke that. We came all the way down to 2,300. Once again, back to the resistance zone. We broke the support zone back to the resistance zone, but bounced back right back to the support zone and back here in July. So pretty good there on the weekly there. And once again, same story as the Pulsechain. And of course, the RSI not quite as oversold as Pulse. Pulse was in the oversold zone, but we are pretty close to it, 32.76 at the moment. A good place to accumulate a lot of volume, though. And DCA, obviously, if you've got that extra capital, you can DCA into that volume because the volume is picking up way more than you would have before. And of course, if you're bullish about that 1 year, weekends, get rid of weekends. That is in May, right? That's after Bitcoin halving. So we'll see how we go there with the Magic Carpet Ride. Richard's posts are pretty interesting in that context as well. Let's have a look here. So let's go look at the ratio on the incentive token. And once again, we had got all the way down to 44,500. And we actually kind of made slightly lower lows there, but we're right back in the mix now, 49,700. So we get over 50,000 here and hold that. That's a very bullish sign. And of course, we've got the resistance of 61,000 there. Keep a lookout for that. And then the next one is naturally on the horizontal is 71,000. So that's it for the incentive token, looking very strong indeed. And of course, running into the end of the full year, which is only weeks away, that could be very bullish indeed for the incentive supply being limited and emission reductions expected. So we'll see how we go there. PHEX, of course, right back, man, far out. Look at this PHEX here, right back into the bottom of the zone, the accumulation zone. And we went all the way down to 62/100th of a penny. Is that crazy or what? For PHEX, Hex on Pulsechain, and we're back up at 7,700 there. Big spike up there at the moment. So we really did touch. Look at some of these lows back here. The only one lower low is the 58/100th of a penny. So man, the volumes you can pick up here of Hex are pretty awesome. And the RSI there on the daily is kind of near the oversold period. And of course, you can see how we sort of generally spike back from these points. So reasonable to expect we'll bounce back from that as well. And so far, it's been pretty good in that direction. I'll have a quick look at the weekly here at the moment. So yeah, we're sitting pretty much around the 40 on all these ones. Pulsechain, Hex there on the RSI. And you can see we're definitely, PHEX is the weakest out of the three. And of course, really still in that accumulation zone there as well. And of course, we're waiting to break through that in due time. And of course, don't forget Richard Hart's post about how, how liquidity impacts and buying impacts the assets on Pulsechain, where it goes up as a square. So yeah, it might go down fast, which gives you a big chance to pick up big volumes, but it also goes back fast the other way. So we're looking forward to that magic carpet ride playing out. So if you haven't gone back to that post, Richard posted, can't remember, it was a couple of weeks ago, just to remind all the fudders out there and the people are not promoting the right thing to get out there and promote the right thing, because the economics is pretty awesome to the upside. All right, let's jump over here to the EHEX. EHEX pretty much is a similar story. We got all the way down to, what's that, 1300th of a penny. We're miles away from the BankEx, so there's plenty upside for EHEX. And of course, we got some positive signals here on the RSI, here on the daily. So that's pretty much EHEX. Let's go to the combined price of EHEX and PX here on investex.io. I actually haven't preset it up, my bad, but we'll have a look at this too. And bam, let's go. All right, let's see. We're going to go to the daily here on the combined price of EHEX and PX. And as you guys know, I think once we get past 3 cents, we're a long way from that at the moment. But you know, crypto can turn around pretty fast. So don't get caught out by, you know, week to week, month to month prices. You really want to keep that long-term perspective in place. So at the moment, we're back at the bottom of the range, as you can see quite clearly here at 9400th of a penny. But we're going to keep an eye out for that 3 cents once we get back up to that. So there's mad gains just from 9400th of a penny to 3 cents, and then beyond that, it's going to be absolutely super huge there. So those when the big money is made. So yeah, let's see what happens from May this year. Once after 1 year of weekends has been let loose, it's going to be fun to see. All right, that is pretty much it on there. Let's go to the gas prices. We're at 588,000 beats, so we're probably, what, 200% over normal. 2 cents for a Pulsechain swap there, 1/10 of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, and 3/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. Ethereum Gwei at 15 at the moment, so still relatively low on Ethereum. And we've got, we're still 1,000 times better than Ethereum in terms of cost. So 2 cents for a Pulsechain swap and up to $17 for a Uniswap there as well. Uniswap apparently fighting for DeFi, but they blocked Hex, remember, but now they're under the gun with the whales notice as well. So are they going to put Hex back since they haven't taken the Unicoin off? Let's see what happens there. Once again, the community's got to, I guess, join hands regardless of those sour moves. We've got 49,165 validators at the moment. 1.57 trillion. Pulse is off the market, and don't forget, we had that Deacon upgrade topic that we talked about, I think, yesterday. And of course, you can check out David Feather about resetting your database for the Deacon upgrade there. Pretty cool. Let's get to the main event here, the bridge, the heartbeat, the health of the ecosystem. Well, I think we had, what, $25 million here yesterday. Was that the number? I think it was something like that. And we're at just under 119 here. So I think we might be down, 6 million if I remember that rightly. I have to go back and watch my own video, but I think that's kind of correct. And we've got the pDai down. So we were at 40 million. I remember that much, I'm pretty sure. And we're down 37.8. And obviously we had some pDai go over. We saw that one big transfer. What was it that I said earlier, about 1.2 million something, plus a couple 100,000, stuff like that. So, and then a whole ton of little stuff probably. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. Looking at USDC, 22.6 million, USD Tether, 14.7 million at the moment. And of course, in terms of Ethereum, 28.2, and Wrap Bitcoin, 2.2 million there at the moment. What do we got? Our Coast is at 4 million. And I know that's relatively de-peaked at the moment. We might check that out later on. But the native coins at USDL at 16.9 million and PXDC at 6.5 million there. That's definitely down quite a bit, the PXDC there at the moment. So that's kind of the numbers for day 336. We're on day 337 now. We're going to get all to the rest of the charts because there's lots of cool stuff to talk about there. So let's get into it. Say hello to a few other people that may have jumped in the chat. We got CC in house there. Sup, familiar? Good to see CC. Welcome to the chat as well. Brian says hodling is a smart move. Just saying, says Brian. I agree with you on that one. Came to spend some time with you, says Chris CC. Brennan says, hold to May, don't walk away. I like that one. I might keep that too. Maybe I should use that for a title of a video. Have a great stream, says Sandy Beach. You have a great day as well. Sandy Beach is mid-May and pray, says Sandy Beach. That was pretty funny. All right, let's move on. All right, so we've got the derivatives now of, I've lost one of my derivatives. I don't know where it went, but we've got derivatives here at the moment. I've lost the high Icosa. Ethereum, Hedron is positive, up 2%. And a Pulsechain is down for Icosa and Hedron at the moment for the derivatives. I haven't got the Maximus loaded up there yet, but I'm going to do it. I've got to do it today. I need to get my A into G. Let's have a look at the influencer coins, shall we? let's go straight to influencer coins. These are the ones that pumped the other day. Was it 3 days ago? 2 days ago, mega pumped. I think it was 2 days ago. They're all down today, obviously. But notable mention of Solid X is at $70. So it's still doing pretty well there. Note token, Randy Lusky, at pretty close to half a penny, 4600th of a penny, down 6.6% there. Axis Live, wow, that's down dramatically, isn't it? 32,000. That got over 100,000 if I remember rightly, so that's down. And so on. Fire there from Crispy Man is down 41%. And that's pretty much it there, is it? Yeah, and My Life is Awesome down 15% there at 7.2 cents, 42 there. Those are the influencer coins. Let me know if I'm missing any influencer coins. You can let me know in the chat or in Discord. I'll add those in. What else? Let's go into Pulse memes. Is that what we got? Pulse memes. I got SHIB in there at the moment. SHIB's up 4.7% on the old SHIB. I did have Peppy, but I had the wrong pair, so I had to add that back in there as well. Projects. Now, projects, let's see here. BBC token still holding at 12 cents after that odd pump the other day. BBC and 9-inch got pumped quite a bit, but that's come back down to earth, but still up at 12 cents because it started at 2 or 3 cents, didn't it? Or maybe even 4 cents top. Now it's still up at 12, so that's pretty good if you're mining there compared to what it was, but it was up at like 25 cents or something. So that's down definitely a little bit there. Now, let's go to stables. Now, stables were the talk of the town. So Richard posted that pDai thing. And, of course, the market went crazy. Well, the market's actually still doing pretty well. So on pDai here, we did have a sell off by a while. They sold down into that. But the uptrend was already in place before Richard posted it there. And the market cap's still looking really, really good. 165 million. And this uptrend is still well in place for pDai. You can't argue with the chart. The chart's telling you that the market's moving up there. And we're at 7,500th of a penny there. So 3/4 of a cent at the moment. And yesterday we had a big rally. Let's go to the hourly chart and see what that rally looked like. Yeah, we had a big pump in here. This caught out quite a few people, this pump after Richard's post. So if we actually look at Richard's post, which was 16 hours ago, let's go. Yeah, that's pretty much into this pump, really. Richard's post and the market pumps there on the alley went all the way up. It got all the way back up to 8,700th of a penny. Now, that's not the all-time high, right, which is 9,100th of a penny, but it got up to 8,700th of a penny and then got sold down by big whale accounts, and a whale came all the way down to 5,500th of a penny, but has come back up again to 7,900th of a penny. Now, currently at 7,500th of a penny. And a bit of drama there. So hold on to your hats with the speculation because, pDai is on the move. But like I said, this thing's going to hunt 1 cent. I'd be very surprised. This thing is on the move. It's on the move for 1 cent. It wants it. It can feel the blood, as it were. It's like a shark with some blood in the water. This thing is after that 1 cent. And, it's going to be fun to see it play. It got very close, a week ago on the 6th of April. Yeah, it got to 90/100th of a penny. And it's still got a pretty strong uptrend there. So watch this thing go. Once it gets to 1 cent, you guys know it's more likely to get to 10 cents. And, of course, faster than 10 cents. Might have to have a consolidation zone, though, because of the RSI. But, RSI is at 61 at the moment. Let's go to the weekly on this. And the weekly is definitely hot to trot on the weekly here at 76. But, might stay up a bit longer. As we go and try to hit that 1 cent and get a bit of resistance there. We'll see how we get on with that. If you remember, Hex in the last bull market had a lot of resistance, at 2/10 of a penny, 3/10 of a penny, had a lot of resistance there. And then it had a lot of resistance around 1 cent, up to 1.2 cents, had a lot of resistance there before it really started to move up to 3-4 cents, 7-8 cents, 10 cents, etc. And of course, the rest. So at the moment, that is the weekly there on the pDai. So pretty dramatic. And of course, USDC and USD Tether copies followed it up, right? They follow it up and down. They're back up still 26% on the 24 hours. So they're still benefiting even after that whale sell. So there we go. Now, the one thing that's caused a bit of drama was Coast. Coast is actually backed by $1, whereas it's not just pure speculation like the other one. It has, it's not completely pure speculation if you're into the maker theory and the evidence around that. But Coast had a flash crash yesterday. Look at this thing. Let's go to the hourly. I'm on the weekly there, but let's go to the hourly. That is it. And we had this flash crash all the way down to 68 cents. for each Coast stablecoin. Wow. And of course, it's going to still a few weeks away for Coast to get their financial provider back up and running. So what happens that the market has a bit of a fit on a down day, down sentiment, and opportunity is made. Pretty crazy in my view what's happening here. But, we're back up to 8400th of a penny. But that was some pretty crazy stuff today, which is pretty insane. And of course, how many hours ago was that? That was around about 12, 13 hours ago that flash crashed there on Coast. And it's still well below unpegged from the $1. Remember, it's still redeemable. Of course, deposit withdrawals, I believe, are frozen until they get that person, get the agency up and running. So fingers crossed for that. In the meantime, though, USDL is 97 cents, so pretty close to peg, and PXDC is at 99 cents almost, so it's pretty close to peg as well. Bring on PUSD Algo. That's what I say. We want PUSD Algo here. Come on, Jacob. Come on, let's do it now. Let's not wait till the end of the year. Let's get on with that. Now you can get a 19% bonus on USDL, PUSDL, in the Algo PUSD, in the video description if you want to participate in that. And sometimes you have to go in early for the great ones. All right, so that's pretty much it on there at the moment. And I think we had top PRC 20s. Yeah, we're gonna have a look at the wrap Bitcoin. So this is the other one that Richard posted, right? And of course, look at that price. Woo, woo, woo. Hot dog, wrap Bitcoin, man. This is definitely more speculative. But we're at 260. 260, that's where we started when Richard posted. Remember, it was on his little post. And man, we went all the way up, man. We went all the way up to this groovy level. What was that? Up to to $444. So 260 to $444, and it did it inside, let's say, an hour plus. That is pretty crazy. It's probably even smaller time frame than that because it sort of gets in behind the hourly candles. But man, look at that. That was up 70% in that small period of time. Then got flash crashed all the way back down. It got flash crashed all the way back down to $227. So it was actually lower than where it started, which is not fun when you're speculating on that. And of course, 227. It went down about 13%. So if you're still holding there, but at the moment, it's actually still up. So the net effect at the moment is that it is actually still up $322. Now, obviously, if you bought into that first pump on that first hour, you would be underwater at the moment. But you've got a bit of a push higher here going on at the moment. So we're going to see how that goes with the old wrap Bitcoin. But definitely lots of fun happening there, and the market cap pretty huge at this stage. So definitely those two looking pretty good. Now, that is pretty much it around those. We're going to go have a look at what's been hot in the last 24 hours on Pulsechain. Pulsechain's still doing pretty well on the ranking. So Solana 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Pulsechain sitting at number 9 at the moment. So still looking pretty good with its position. And obviously, there's a lot of wash trading and other fake stuff on other chains. So, you've got to take that into account as well. But the total volume overnight, woohoo, 82 million. That's pretty good. If you remember 2 days ago or 3 days ago when we had all the influencer coins pumping, where I think we were up around 75, 77 million. So we're 82.8 million today with a lot of those funds. Obviously we had a lot of selling, but we also had a lot of pumping going on with those key coins as well. So let's have a look at what's hot at the moment. So obviously got a lot of new coins. So you got this one here, Wings, that's up 444,000%. So you got that at the moment. Now, obviously, this is not endorsing. I'm not endorsing any of these tokens. We're just looking at what's up big percentage. You got to check, are these safe first of all? And of course, are you too late for the pump? Are you into pump and dumpers? Are you a degener? All those sort of questions. You got to ask that yourself. No financial advice here for that. Now we've got 150 weeks here. Obviously, talking about that one year of weekends. Get weekends out. We've got a token out here called 50 weeks jumped out up by 20,000%. Well, let's have a quick look at this one. And that is just launched just a little while ago. So yeah, it got pumped. And what's these are 15-minute candles. So it hasn't been around for long, maybe 2-3 hours. And it's being pumped and dumped there at the moment. Very small cap here, but that is some of the stuff that's going on there. 50 weeks to get weekends out. That theme is now on blockchain. And that is the Wings one. You can see that one there played out, big pump and dump. They look pretty similar, don't they? Those two charts. Kilroy here on the 9-inch exchange. That is up 385%. So let's have a quick look at that one too. These are some of the speckies here. Look at that. Boy, ruthless in that chart. It's not even as good as the last two charts. Fugazi is still up though, 58%. Let's have a look at the Fugazi. This thing still seems to be doing fairly well. It's kind of got this little faint uptrend, doesn't it, going on there? So that's actually probably not a too bad looking chart, the Fugazi one. Not endorsing it, but just saying the chart itself looks, particularly interesting. Now, liquid loans is up, funny enough. So we do have a utility rather than this. A lot of these meme coins. We've got loan token up 28%. So that's a nice little move from loan token. So we do have our big blue chip there up at the moment. So that's on the 15-minute. Let's go to the hourly, the daily there, and of course let's go to log on this, and that is the chart. That is the chart at the moment. So bounced off the back last 2 days, bounced off the bottom here, got down dramatically low at 50 2,700. That's dramatic, but it's bouncing off the bottom there, and of course you get big volume, right? And you can make some pretty mad gains when you pick the bottom off. So not too bad there. We've got this other one here, Monet Money. I'm not even going to look at that one particularly. We've got a Troper, of course, the arbitrage one, up 22% at the moment. And of course, going hand in hand with the pDai narrative, right? A Troper and pDai. We've got Pine there. I haven't looked at that one, up 22%. Got a couple of these funny looking ones here. This Poppy one, Teddy Bear. I'm not even sure what that name is there, but that is up 16%. Peer as well. So there's quite a few double digits up here. Commander Bowden. We saw that the other day. What else there? Pinu there is up 10%. So those are kind of the leaders today in the big double digit gains. Let's see what is any negative actually. Let's see if there's anything negative. Yeah, Hexify is the worst there, 40%. And one UBC, which was actually shining the other day, is down 40% as well. Still at $1.82 though. Access Alive, of course, down 36% there as well. And Chitin one there, that one we saw the other day, Mimcoin, is down 20% too, which is our HOA one, right? HOA's got another project launching. They're a serial project launcher, and of course for the HOA teams. And there we go. So that is pretty much the markets today on that one. And of course, finally, the Hex alerts, right? We had quite a bit of stuff happening on Hex alerts. So we're going to talk about that. We had some pretty nice penalties the last 24 hours, 1.6 million Hex. Big one there, penalties. Still got an ROI of 87% there on that one. And of course, Hex was down in price. We already talked about that. We had 13 hours ago, 8.9 million Hex was bought for 865 million Pulse. Nice little buy there. Let's see, 10 million Hex bought for 78,000 EUSD. So we had some nice little buys there from Pulse and EUSD there. Hex alerts, 37 million Hex sold for 292K 7 hours ago. So after all those two nice buys, we had a big sell in there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So the T-share payout for today, this is kind of the holy grail, hex.com, links in the video description. And the Pulsechain side is payout of 7.02 Hex per T-share, about 5 cents per T-share. So that's pretty good, ticking away there for the old T-share holders here on Hex Alert. So that's kind of a wrap up of today's action in the last 24 hours. Whoa, pretty crazy. But hey, look, the prices are so glorious to pick up. Man, they're looking so good. Now, keep an eye on that RSI. Always use the RSI to see whether you're overbuying, overselling. If it's overbought, oversold. Just remember, it's always useful to use the RSI for that. Trev Newman says, great work, Superman. Still bullish, mate. Absolutely. And, of course, we're coming up to, May, maybe around about 12th of May or something for the first year of Hex. And, of course, after the Bitcoin halving there, Magic Heart right from there, a year of weekends. It's funny enough that token launched 50 weeks. I thought that was pretty funny. So let's see how we go. But thanks, Trev. Appreciate that. We got Craig Pitters in the house as well. Morning all. Good to see you, Craig. Welcome to the chat as well. If you guys are new to the channels, either on Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, or Pulsechain X, those are 3 channels we're streaming to at the moment. With over 10,500 subscribers, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell for future videos, and share it around to your friends. It really does help with the algorithm and getting the word out about Pulsechain Hex. Now, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, folks, and the opportunity to pick up these cheap volumes just is like a dream come true. And of course, if you're bullish about the long-term, direction of Pulsechain, even with the SEC case, it's going to be a fun ride there as well. And of course, we'll be covering all the updates for the SEC as we move forward, like we did yesterday. So if you haven't checked out a video yesterday, we covered that in yesterday's video. And I'm fairly bullish. I think they got a very good case because the actual SEC arguments are pretty weak, if you ask me. Particularly, trying to use the jurisdiction argument, which I think is one of the weakest of them all. Let alone some of the fictional stuff that's in there as well. All right, so it's going to be a fun ride. We'll see how it goes, though. Hope you guys get into Discord. The link's in the video description. So join up today either to our general membership, $5 a month, 16 cents a day for Pulsechain Hex, or into our multi-chain strategy club, $30 a month. Get in there on that as well. We're going to be talking about some items are like around Runes protocol with the Bitcoin halving coming up in a week. Runes protocol is going to be launching on Bitcoin. It's going to be the biggest thing. It's going to be an absolute bonanza for maybe you could put it this way. It could be the biggest meme coin casino in the world because it's going to be on the most valuable chain in the world at the moment, Bitcoin. So you don't want to miss out on the Runes protocol launching, and of course many of the alphas out there like Runestone. You'll be seeing me posting on X social platform a lot of bullish stuff around a lot of the pre-Rune tokens launching, and of course post-Runes on a week's time. It's going to be an absolute chaos there on the old Bitcoin and Runes protocol. And some of the influences are massive. Some of the people holding are very wealthy individuals, so it's going to be an absolute blast. Now, obviously, Runestone being the king of the hill at the moment on Magic Eden, you're going to see potentially the biggest meme coin of all time launch. It's going to be called Dog Coin because everyone loves dogs. And well, apparently, I don't have a dog, but everyone loves dogs. And so Dog Coin coming to Runestone. So we're going to be watching that in the next week. It's going to be an absolute blast. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that join up today. And I'll see you in Discord, of course. Take care, everybody. And I'll catch you again in the next live stream. Let's play out the Magic Outright, because we're going to enjoy that at some stage. We already see a couple opening moves. But I know this is going to be a lot of fun in the future. Take care. Bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.